Well, this is really a victory for the protesters who took to the streets a week ago after the decision to fire Mykhailo Fedorov as defense minister. First of all, their main demand was to reinstate the defense minister, and we still don't know if that's going to happen. Fedorov's further fate is as yet unknown. Volodymyr Zelensky's statement didn't say anything about him. But very soon, when it emerged that Mykhailo Fedorov had been fired essentially because of his conflict with the chief of staff, Oleksandr Syrsky, protesters started demanding in no uncertain terms that Oleksandr Syrsky be fired. And it really became their main demand. I was at the protest in Kyiv yesterday, and there was a strong feeling there that this was only going to be a matter of time, that the protesters would be listened to and be heard by Volodymyr Zelensky, even though there are no elections in Ukraine at the moment, or perhaps because there are no elections in Ukraine at the moment. Public opinion expressed through protest is something that the executive feel that they absolutely have to listen to. And it was only a few thousand people in the biggest cities. In most of the regional capitals in Ukraine, there were protests, but most of them were relatively small by the standards of protest that you see in countries like France, for example. But it's considered that in wartime, people going out onto the street like that, even if it's just a few thousand, it's a lot. And most importantly, there was a strong feeling that this was a view that was shared clearly by the majority of public opinion. All sorts of opinion leaders on social media, whether in the military, whether in politics, whether in think tanks, were saying that Zelensky had made the wrong decision by firing Fedorov, and that criticisms against Oleksandr Syrsky were valid. And one of the main people criticizing Volodymyr Zelensky's decision to fire Mykhailo Fedorov was Mykhailo Drapaty, who the president has now announced will be replacing Syrsky as head of the armed forces. So he's Fedorov's ally. He is the one that Fedorov wanted to see in that place. And he is definitely the one that most of the protesters I spoke to yesterday wanted to see named into that position to replace Oleksandr Syrsky.